Wham blam Sam, take a look at this handiwork. Got everything wired up and rigged up and pretty fucking spiffy if you ask me. I'm pretty happy with it all actually. I've even got zip ties holding shit down nice and secure and taped up, insulated. So yeah, we've got the thermo fan here. I flogged it from there, so now I put a different one there. This one is just nice and neat and perfect, so that one's getting used there. That's the motor. That tape is there, just the whole cable's nice and neat. But we've got, basically when you flick the switch inside the cabin, it'll turn everything on. So it'll engage the pump, it'll engage the motor, and it'll engage the fan to cool this stuff and pull air through the condenser. But yeah, so we'll give you a little test. Oh shit, I can stand back here, give you a little test run with the battery here. So we'll put the earth, and there you go, look at that. Everything's going, the fan's going, motor's pulling that nicely, and that's actually got resistance now because that pump is engaged. You can tell here because there's that goop there. Let's turn this off and sort of see that, it's spattered goop, that's from the lines. So everything's working. It's that motor's doing the job. Well, I mean, the lines aren't full, so it's not pressurized system, but I think that should handle it okay. Yeah, it's pretty damn close to being able to be bolted up in the car, I think. So that's probably what the next flash is going to be. So I'll see you once this contraption is in the car. So I got into the fun part here, where I get to install this monstrosity of a contraption into the vehicle, the uterus. Basically how I'm going to do that is I've got this 10mm threaded rod going through the middle of this bracket. It goes to that, which is going to clamp down on top of the rack, and then that is going to go through there, which will bolt underneath, and it'll go and it'll clamp that all up nicely to this bottom rack and have that fan sit nicely in that cavity there between the batteries and the condenser. Only issue I have that is standing in my way are these power steering lines here, because there's no way to maneuver that unit in here without cutting them. And to be honest, I'm not too fussed at that, because as you can see, there's it joins into rubber hoses there, and it joins into rubber hoses here. So realistically, I can easily take this out and just divert those hoses somewhere else, and these hoses need to be redone anyway because they all leak. So that's got to come out now, and then we can get to putting the aircon in, hopefully. So we'll get this out and we'll go see how we go. Well, I'm not going to say that went in easily. It was a pain in the cunt, to be honest, but I got it in. I did some acrobatic maneuvering, holding it with my legs upside down and putting this in while feeding a bolt with my third arm and all that jazz. But we'll turn the camera around and I'll show you my efforts. That says low now as I get the camera, so I'm laying the ground here. But this is underneath the car, so you can see that whole unit there has been bolted underneath the battery rack at the front, and that fan is nicely positioned where it needs to be and behind the condenser there. So now I've just got to connect these lines up, rig the main power cable to a switch inside the cab, and get it regassed, la-di-da. I'm not going to go through all the steps every single time, but yeah, that's where I'm up to now. We'll just go up top and I'll show you from up top. I actually managed to fluke that, to be honest. I didn't even think about where those where the belt was going to end up, but as you can see, that's a pretty damn good fit. Looks like it's made for it. So yeah, but that tucks away quite neatly underneath those batteries. Like if you look from the front here, you wouldn't even know it's there. And that belt just looks, to tell the truth, the belt just fills it out. It just looks like it's meant to be there, which it is, because this is actually a build, so I don't know what I'm talking about, but just trying to get good angles here. But yeah, so that's the unit there underneath the batteries. So just got to connect that up, and that's work closer to getting my air conditioning working. And still got other shit to do, but hey, that's something. What will we see in the next one? Next step. I'll probably, next video on this, you'll be seeing, you'll just turn this around. Yeah, so next video on this, you'll be seeing, probably, yeah, all the lines. I'll be connecting all the lines up. Lines all connected up. We'll have the switch, connected inside the dash when you're all connected to the battery and everything. And that will be probably as far as I can go, really. But that'll be in part 4. Yeah, part 4 will have that, and then there'll be part 5. I don't know when part 5 will be, but part 5 will be obviously getting it gassed and making sure it all works and that jazzmatazz. But that's when I have money to get it gassed, and I'm not going to bother doing that until I've got the money to get the power steering lines done, because I'll do those together. Because, well, actually no, I suppose that'll be a different job. Actually no, that's another thing. Yeah, anyway, we'll leave it till later on when I've got money, because at the moment I've got other priorities I need to use. So, but yeah, there's still one more video to come. You'll still see another one yet where I have it all connected up into the car, and we'll give it a test run without the gas, obviously, just make sure it's all working with the switch and not rubbing against anything or vibrating and this and that, la-di-da. But yeah, so that will be in the next part, so I'll catch you then. Bye.